Hi Virgo, welcome to your 2018 Tarot and Astrology reading. Welcome to my channel. So Virgo, a lot of the energy for you this month circulates around the concept of home, of our roots. What do they mean to you? What gives you comfort? What makes you feel nurtured? What makes you feel safe to grow? Where do you feel safe in general? What do you think of your ancestry, your roots, your heritage, your parents? What was your childhood like? Themes, Virgo. These are all themes. And believe it or not, they have a lot to do with what's going on around you. Although the history may seem best left in the past, and we have done our Venus retrograde period, Mercury ends its retrograde period in that very cycle. Mercury retrograde, this makes sense. On the 7th of December. Going over old ground has never been as emotionally charged. So with the Magician and the Nine of Swords, your fears, how much control do they have over you in the direction that you're going? What childhood nightmare do you recall as being significant in your life? Have you ever actually analysed it? Have you ever found meaning behind it? What were your real fears, and how have they manifested in your adult life? What is it about the past that is so very scary? And how is it shaping your future? Because it is. And that's why we're having this moment to redefine it, readdress it. You're a Mercury child for now. You can readdress this. You can rewrite this. Virgos are very talented writers. We think of Roald Dahl. J.K. Rowling has a moon in Virgo. I've been using her quotes for every single horoscope this month because she connects us to the magic of imagination. She wrote a whole life for somebody. You can do that for you. Something that possibly occurred in your childhood has shaped who you are as a person, and that's brilliant. You are perfect as you are. You're a Virgo. There's no closer thing to perfect, yet no closer thing to self-criticism. Nobody is harder on themselves than a Virgo is. Nobody who is more critical of themselves than a Virgo. Bar those whose charts are lined with the 12th house, which is quite common for those with a Virgo stellium. Interesting that, but that's not where I'm going with this. The point is, Virgo, you need to readdress a past issue in order to create a new destiny, and it's something that's been holding you back for possibly most of your life. An inner demon, and I think it also, for a lot of you, links back to a dream. Neptune just went direct. In Pisces, our dreams are significant. A lot of suppressed fears have been coming out in the form of nightmares. But for most people, you think back to your childhood, there's usually one dream sticks out. What was it? You'll know. Six of Wands, it's leading you to victory. Empress energy. Two of Wands. Hierophant. And the Knight of Cups. And Justice. Divorce, maybe? Could have been divorce as a child was the issue. Hierophant's in the challenge. Justice is here. Knight of Cups. Suppressed fears with the mother. Not feeling good enough for the mother. That might have been it for some of you. I'm not going to go too deep into the analysis of what it is. You'll know what it is for you, and it's too personal for me to pick into for each person. The thing is, Virgo, you are beyond everything that has happened to you. You're a spiritual being having a physical existence. It's not the other way around. You are existing in a completely different realm to everyone else if you think about it. The Virgo imagination, you're an earth sign, technically. So you're grounded. The concept of having roots, fourth house energy, which is what we're dealing with. You belong to the earth, but you're a Mercury child. And I think this is why Virgos can often feel kind of lost, because there's this zipping energy of Mercury, and then there's this solid earth. And it's why you fight with yourself on so many different occasions. You're trying to keep things grounded, you're trying to keep things rational, you're trying to keep things level. But you also possess this amazing imagination. As Roald Dahl himself said, who was a September 13th Virgo, those who do not believe in magic will never find it. And then as I was talking about J.K. Rowling, Moon in Virgo, she was also very obsessed with magic. Harry Potter, you know? Though Harry Potter, I believe, was a Leo. You're at a crossroads at your life, Virgo. You have two very distinctive paths. That's the good part. The challenge is that you have really, especially if you have a lot of Taurus in your chart, you have really put yourself into a pattern of doing things. You have really committed yourself to a certain way of seeing the world, committed yourself to a certain way of behaving, committed yourself to a societal standard, because the Hierophant is all about the structures of our churches, how they've shaped society, organizations, how they view the people within the organizations, and how they view the people that don't go along with them. And that's what the fourth house is too, societal norms. Your environment, where you grew up. Some of you may have grown up in incredibly religious homes, and you may have felt somewhat suppressed, or you may have felt enlightened. It depends, really. But for some reason, this is all coming into question, and it may be because you could be getting married, you could be marrying someone from a very different background, or you could be committing to a job that has some different allegiances. There could be very different values, or you may be in a job with a lot of people that you don't understand. Now, that being said, Virgo, again, with the Empress energy, there is a very strong need to nurture yourself this month and engage with positive self-care. Virgos are very determined not to let other people down. You know, my brother's a Virgo, and he just went into work anytime he feels incredibly sick, he'll still go. Do you know what I mean? And he would run himself into the ground rather than let somebody down. Very typical Virgo. Doesn't believe in it, but it doesn't mean it's not true. Knight of Cups. There could be an interesting and positive message comes out of this. A lot of the time with the Knight of Cups, I sometimes feel like it is engaging in a really good conversation with somebody about your true feelings. It can be romantic. It's a very romantic night. It oftentimes can be that. But the Knight of Cups is also that person that you get along with, and you can have a good heart-to-heart until 5 a.m. about stuff, about your past, about your childhood. Knight of Cups can often come from unusual, unorthodox, or even sometimes broken homes. And they can go on a quest to find a love that understands them. They're hopeless romantics, Knight of Cups people. Yeah. There's something about the past that you just feel... It's about your roots, and I feel like a lot of it is to do with judgments on things. How you were judged, possibly as a young child, and it's maybe led you to be where you are. For some of you, it could be manifesting as being neurotic. For others of you, it could be manifesting as feeling undeserving of love. Or for some Virgos even, it could be avoiding commitments of some kind because you are concerned about history repeating itself. There's a lot of history in this. But if you bear with it, Virgo, it's the most rewarding time to get to the bottom of it. Ooh. Nine of Cups. Champions. Interesting. It's like you're getting, the more successful you get, the more you question it. The more successful you get, the more you question your worth. You question who you are and do you deserve it. I'd say 99 to 100% of the time, Virgo's success comes from their own hard work. They're the least likely to emerge in situations of nepotism. I can't think of many Virgos unless they have, Moon in Sagittarius, being born into rich families and living off it. it's kind of, it's usually just you, Virgo. You're usually the one that makes the success happen. And you're also probably the only one to question it at this point. Seven of Pentacles and the Empress. You're making big things happen. The Tower is your positive card. Awesome. That's amazing. That's actually what we want. I know you're looking at it and thinking, no. But bear with me. This is good. This is good change, Virgo. The Tower is a revelation. It means you get that answer. It means you have that awakening. It means you transform and you are crumbling these icky false assumptions and these illusions about yourself and about your success and what you deserve and what you don't deserve and what you can do. You can, if you want to. Say you have had seen people around you fail in marriages or fail in long-term relationships. They're not you. Psychologically, people try and I'm not against psychology in any way, shape or form. I'm very, very interested in it. But I have sometimes wondered its link with, self-fulfilling prophecies. You say you take a child from a broken home and you say, oh, you're more likely then to have a broken marriage. But what about the people that come from a broken home and want to have a good marriage? That doesn't mean they're doomed. It means they're determined, and most often than not, they'll take it more seriously and make better decisions. Boom, there you go. You're not destined to fail just because something in your childhood failed or something in your past failed. You're very successful, Virgo. I know I can sort of hear you be like, well, no, because this. But you are. And you're having a big wake-up call this month. You're transforming from your upheaval. It's like you're unearthing this dying grass. And you're ready to plant something that can grow. You know what I mean? Knight of Pentacles is a challenge. You are your own challenge. Your perceptions of what society wants for you is your challenge, Virgo. And the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you guys are getting engaged, which is really lovely. The Devil is underneath. So, yeah, the shadow self. Let's talk about him. Restriction. What restrictions have you put on yourself? You're crumbling those. Okay? You're more determined to have a long-term goal rather than just strive for perfection. You're more determined to see something that you want and go for it. You're less likely, with the Tower in your favor, to self-sabotage yourself. Because you do that quite a lot. But you're also, as a Virgo, a straight talker. Self-imposed restriction isn't going to work for you this month. You're no longer going to be a Knight of Pentacles. You can emerge as the King. You're not doomed to a pattern of failure. If something has failed and you're very afraid of failure, I get that. But there's a very beautiful commitment coming to you, Virgo. This could be in a relationship. This could be in work and career. But it's incredibly fulfilling. The Ten of Pentacles, as we know, tens are about endings. But it's about ending something negative. When the Tower is in your positive position, this means something negative has crumbled, and in its place is a new beginning built on stability, built on commitment, built on worth and value. A real dream come true with the Nine of Cups. And funny, I think Jupiter is going to be up to some very special things this month because a lot of the signs have got the Nine of Cups. So a lot of the themes, a lot of signs have got the Star as well. So a lot of the themes are about getting a wish and seeing things positively and optimism and feeling like the canary that got the cream. And you're not into sudden wishes coming out of nowhere, Virgo. They make you more suspicious. You want something that you know you've worked hard for. And yes, even then you'll still question it and still think it was pot luck. And that can make you see luck in a funny way. You don't believe in it, but when you work hard and you succeed, you almost put it down to luck. And you discredit yourself and you discredit the nature of wish fulfillment. But the universe wants to give you a reward for your hard work. The Fool energy. Judgment. I told you. Four of Pentacles on the Knight of Swords. Success is coming in swift, actually. Six of Swords, moving forward to a new, brighter future. Judgment. Rebirth. This is a phoenix rising from the crumbling ashes of the tower. That's good. Higher level vibrations, higher calling. It's like you're tuning into a new radio station. You're on the right path. You're refreshing your energy. You're becoming a better version of yourself. This is like puberty of your soul, you know? People always talk about the physical puberty we go to, but I don't know, I think people have emotional puberties all the time. And growth is uncomfortable. Growth can feel painful. Growth can feel strange. The thing is, you've been growing until this point, and that's why it's been uncomfortable. And now you're ready to cast away the chains, cast away the doubt, and cast away the fears. Judgment in the traditional Rider-Waite is a much different picture. It has all these ghosts being blown out into the air, you know, releasing the ghosts that hide within us, within our past, within our subconscious. Those nightmares as children that wake us up in the middle of the night. You're being woken up by a fear and you're deciding you don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to play victim to it. You don't want to go down the wrong path because of what society told you to do. So I think you know, Virgo, and I don't have to give you this sort of disclaimer thing, that as long as you are not hurting anybody else, you can't go wrong in making your own destiny. That always is very important, that you don't tread on other people's dreams, or you don't hurt anybody, or you don't take away anybody else's rights, and you're not going to do that. You're just not. You're going to be the best version of yourself. You're casting off these shadows from the past that have restricted you to feel you should be going down a certain path. And a lot of it is to do with the way people have judged you in your life, and you've been very aware of that. You've maybe been hyper aware of that. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have a success moment. You have an accumulation of all the things you've worked for, whether it be romantic, compassion, Kuan Yin. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. As I say, you don't want to be judged. You can't judge anybody either. Focus on the love and light. Be compassionate. Success is yours, and you know how it feels to have success, but don't question how you got there. And if it is romance, because some of you seem to be coming in with a much more committed partner, it could be a water sign or an air sign in particular. I feel Scorpio is very strong here, Virgo. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini is also very strong. It's a beautiful, you're at a crossroads and you take a leap of faith, Virgo. Endings and beginnings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. Well, that's true. Bridget, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. Ah, these are so accurate to the situation. And Ishtar, boundaries. Love yourself and know to say no to others' demands in your time and energy. Look after yourself rather than worrying if you're going to let people down. As I say, don't hurt people, but don't be so selfless that you're working against yourself, because you can't give from an empty cup, Virgo. You can't give everyone everything you have and then expect to function as a human being. That wouldn't be right. The old is released, the past burdens are released, you're standing up for yourself, and you're releasing judgments both from others and to others, and you're becoming an absolute star, Virgo. I'm so happy for you and very excited for you to receive your 10 of Pentacles gift this month. So I will see you guys in the mid-December. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.